I actually have been kind of thinking about this because I'm teaching some groups of amazing students at the minute. And as an outsider here, and you're looking in, and I come from an indigenous country, Wales, you see the colonisation and you see the push to keep it here. And Jamaica needs to break those chains because for years they've been dividing and ruling us. For years, and whether it be black versus white, Catholic versus Christian, then Muslims versus Christians, then they use disease to separate viruses. It's all divide and rule. The new financial banking systems divide and rule. Keep the rich rich, make the poor poor and die. Help with the depopulation agenda. But this is really to you white people out there, and I have to say that because I don't think you really understand. You have to go and live in a black country to actually see what the black man and brown man has been subject to see how unreasonable the leaders of these said countries are the same way. I look as an outsider in, and I look at the fact that I moved to England from Wales when I was like 6. Couldn't speak English. Welsh was my first language. That's my indigenous tongue. And we got a lot of stick from the English being Welsh, the same as the Irish did. You know, the Irish and the Welsh are very affiliated. We love each other because we're the Celts and we fit in with the Scottish, but there's a different element there. When I moved to England, my dad always used to tell me, never forget your culture. You're a Welsh girl. You're from the Brecon Beacons. You were born on the side of a mountain. Never forget natural herbs. Never forget agriculture, plant. I was obviously raised with horses. So if cars broke down tomorrow, I'm good. I can ride a horse from Kingston to Portland. No fuel, no cost. Just give him some water on the journey and a little bit of hay and feed. Self-sufficiency. But I think that a lot of white people that come to the Caribbean on holiday, you love it here, but you've got to help me correct history. We have been told so many lies in school in the UK. The UK curriculums are so colonised. They make out, England to be the best thing since sliced bread, and we own 70% of the world. But what they don't tell you is the tactics of bullying and invasion and murder that took place for them to own and create British colonies around the globe, and the effects it had on the very people that lived in those countries that they just invaded. These people from around the world welcomed us and the white man with open arms, never thinking they were going to come in and steal their gold, their diamonds, their precious metals. They shared everything, not realising they were going to be captured and put on boats from Africa and enslaved, shackled. We've been lied to, and history needs to correct itself. But white people are the ones that can help do that by recognising that our monarchy and our government, our British government, has been bullies. If you look at Afghanistan, the biggest thing to come out of there is not all the terrorism, poppies and the opiate business for the CIA. The Afghans never sold it or exported it, but the CIA do to this day. Do the Afghan people benefit from any of that money that the CIA made? No. It's corrupt. Backhanders to government officials. Same happening in Africa. And we have to stop it. We have to stop it because the white man is still using the black man as a slave manager. And we, as white people, if you want to even call me white, we have to correct history. They lied about Jamaica, they lied about Barbados, Bahamas, enough of these islands they lied to us about. They were well established, already doing import and export. There was a port here in Jamaica. Christopher Columbus was the biggest liar on the planet, but our royal family in the UK have lied even more. because they were broke. And the Rockefellers have been funding them for years. Half the taxes in the world are illegal. Half the things they do to us are illegal and go against the very rule of law and common law, which was to protect the common man. In order to make change and get reparations and repatriations for the black and brown man and woman, and even children that lost their life, white people need to help black and brown people by acknowledging and seeing that we've been run by some wicked leaders over the years. We've been lied to as excuses to go for war. We've wasted that much money on war, yet we have people starving, not just in Jamaica and in Africa and India and Malaysia and Asia and worldwide, but in England itself, in Manchester, my city. I can take you to places at night where there are homeless people sleeping under bridges under the canal. That's England. They don't even look after their own people. So why are you so proud to be white and English? Because basically the English bullied their way into lots and lots of different beautiful indigenous countries. Stole tea from India, seasoning and spices from India. Sugar came from Jamaica. Do you know that Jamaica has to import most of its sugar that's sold to the locals, yet it's one of the biggest manufacturers of sugar cane and exports sugar? How ridiculous is that? Because the colonisers sold off everything. And imagine now you in England as a white person and somebody coming and taking away all your human rights, shoving you in a boat and taking you there and putting you in shackles, slaughtering your wives and your children in front of you, and you can't do a thing. Getting away with it for decades and centuries, and then not even apologising at the hand of the royal family. And now we have a joke of a king. Harry married to Meghan, to me, is a distraction. Because you, Meghan Markle, should have said to the Queen when you first went for dinner, because if it was me, I'd have said, "So, Your Majesty, when are you going to pay reparations and repatriations to my black people?" Instead, you married into that institute. So, you knew what you were doing. You're not a good representation for black men and women. We need change. And I need for you as white people to understand what these people did to the black man and woman and child and help to rectify history. It needs to be rectified not just in Jamaica but in the UK too. And Europe, because the French lied. Everybody's lied about how they get stuff. The beauty industry is built on a lie. Paris, France, you didn't recognise fragrances. The Egyptians did. Get it right.